This suburban home was supposed to provide Daniel Rasanyagam some extra rental income. Instead, he lost a lot of money when one tenant came in.
My heart was broken.
He said that tenant, Colleen Hull, didn't pay rent for months and was surprised to learn about what she was up to when she was there.
So she was posing as the landlord.
Yeah, she posed as a landlord.
But you're the landlord.
I'm the landlord, yeah.
She was posing as you.
Yeah.
Posed to would-be tenant Les Sawunmi.
I think I'm getting scammed here. Like, this does not feel right.
He paid Hull a $750 deposit for a home that was never actually available. One of many would-be tenants, Hull was convicted of 20 counts, including fraud. One thing the judge ordered, restitution, meaning that Hull was supposed to pay back the money she took, including to Sawunmi. But there seems to be a problem.
You haven't seen the money, I mean.
Nope, not a dime.
We got copies of all of Colleen Hull's restitution orders. You can see them here, $700, $1,400. It adds up over several Ontario courts to almost $70,000. And the courts tell us she hasn't paid a cent.
It's not just Hull, it's a problem right across the country. For example, Vancouver care aide Anna Shamdal, who defrauded the elderly, still owes about $63,000. Edmonton area fraudster Marie-Louise Laframboise owes more than $1.2 million, nothing paid. North of Toronto, romance scammer Celine Damji has paid nothing of a $767,000 restitution order.
They're big numbers, and they certainly make a difference to survivors.
Dr. Benjamin Roebuck is the federal ombudsperson for victims of crime. His office has called out a patchwork system of collections that sometimes leaves it up to the victim to go to civil court.
I think victims and survivors who aren't being paid are asking why there isn't a mechanism to follow up, and why it's not being tracked, and why it's not being enforced, and why it's left up to them to try and contact the person who harmed them.
We called all the provinces and territories to understand the national picture. Only 4 provinces and 1 territory told us they fully track restitution payments. 4 partially track the orders or payments, and 4 said they don't track at all. Of the provinces that did track the money, the proportion of orders that were paid were as high as 71% in Saskatchewan and as low as 8% in Nova Scotia. Of about $255 million in restitution ordered across Canada in the last 5 years, only about $7 million has been confirmed to have been repaid. The highest dollar value in Ontario at $213 million, the province couldn't say how much has been paid. It's one of a majority of provinces that say if victims want to enforce these judgments, they have to go to civil court themselves. We asked Ontario's Solicitor General if those victims could use some help.
Would you consider using your ministry to help victims of crime get some of the money they're owed?
We are doing everything that we can to work with our stakeholders and with our partners across the ministries to make sure that, we are there to support victims of crime.
If you're taking it that seriously, doesn't it bother you that if someone's a victim of crime from a fraud and a judge orders restitution payment to them, the fraudster just decides to scam the courts again and refuse to pay?
I'll be happy to discuss with my colleague, the AG.
Sawunmi says he's long since given up on getting the money.
I'll be surprised if I ever see it.
In a sense, let down by a convicted fraudster and the justice system, too.